Hello, hello. Happy Friday. How's it going? All right. Ramp this music down here. Over here. All right. How's everyone doing? Happy Friday. We are going to finish up our new versions of our doors, throw them in the game, see if we like them better, and maybe do some palette shopping. Maybe figure out a palette we can try. That's not my janky one that I made. So there's something I want to test first. What are these alt versions of the doors? So curious what happens when we try to rotate. If I build something with a door here, so just build a simple platform, go down, doesn't really matter what we're doing. Put a door in here. Oh, I guess we gotta hollow it out first. Put a door in here. Put a couple of doors. What happens when I turn the camera around? Okay, it seems to be flipping the door sprite. Oh, well, no, we want to check this way. Yeah, okay, so what's it doing here? If we look at this from the back... Oh, it's not doing it. Okay. So we're not drawing the correct version of the door. Because it's this S shape, we should be seeing the shape. So here it's going from top left to bottom right. If we flip the camera around, it should be going from top right to bottom left. It's not doing that. It is still going from top left to bottom right. Okay, so we aren't actually using the flipped versions of the doors. Interesting, interesting. We do need to start doing that eventually for consistency. There's a door that goes, you know, from the upper left to bottom right. Should go from the upper right to bottom left when you look at it from the other side. That's just consistency. I mean, no one will really notice right now or care, but I just wanted to make sure that that was the case. So, why aren't we doing that again? Thought I wrote that in there. That's fine. I don't actually want to have to draw. We actually had to do that with the original versions of the doors. We had to like draw the flipped sides of them. So we had this, which is I called like regular, and then we'd also have like flipped. Don't mind that it's kind of janky at the top, but it's like that's the intention, is it's the same door but looking at it from the other side. Excuse me. Same thing with this one. We have like a flipped version of this. So we're going to need to do that, but I don't want to do that right now, and it's good that we actually don't have it coded up to work, so I don't actually have to worry about it. I'm a little curious. I thought I had set it up to do so. I'm just going to check the code real quick here. That would be down here. The door section. So the door section is not actually checking to see. Checks the hull type, checks the axes. What it's not doing Not checking the view angle. So yeah, we're altering the x coords of the atlas based on whether we're the upper or lower segment of the door. But what we're not doing is we're not checking whether or not the view angle is different. If the viewing angle is different, we need to use a different version of the door. We're actually going to need that logic. As soon as we introduce texturing to the walls, we're also going to introduce the logic there as well. So we have a consistent view as we rotate the camera around. But again, not worrying about it right now. What we are going to worry about setting up the tile map, tile data to be correct. So right now we just have these. Okay, so I've set up the flipped versions of the doors. We're just not actually using them for anything. Curious. All right, that's fine. We're just gonna recreate these. Single door, then double door. We'll need to slice this out into separate PNGs. Easy to do though. So here, for example, we can just turn off the back wall and that, and we've got the front wall or I call this the lower because it's like the door is kind of cut in half and this is the lower segment of it. I feel like 4 and like back are better because this is like part of the door that is, although I guess that's relative to view, whereas whether it's the upper or lower segment is not relative to the view. Interesting. Maybe I should rename these then. Call this upper. Call this lower. Do the same thing here. I realize whether it's the lower or the upper segment is entirely dependent on your view, or whether it's the near or far segment is entirely dependent on your view. But at least the upper and lower part is like structural. We can at least agree on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to disable this and this. And we're going to export a sprite sheet. Oh, I actually need to, what we do need to do is we need to do colorations of this. That I actually need to do. Regular. I call this regular outer upper door. Actually, I guess I'm not splitting this. I technically need to eventually. Even this single door, even though it takes up just a single tile, we're going to need to split it into 2 pieces because of how something's going to need to pass through it and the Y sorting be different. But right now we're just putting proxies in the tile map, so pretty easy. Oh, hold on. The lower. All right, so we're gonna make copies of these. These are gonna be the inner doors. Oops. Grab those colors from the inner door. Doesn't really matter which one. This one's fine. Changing the highlights and the colors for a different door type. This one's gonna be kind of a pain in the ass, but okay. Are these not the same colors? Guess not. All right, works for me. Oh, that was easier than I thought it would be. All right, so that's the inner version of the door. Did we do like a flip H? No. Yeah, we do for the alt tile. Okay, I understand. I understand. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. A little sleepy. A little bit sleepy. I'm Novel Hero. Happy Friday. What's on the menu for today? I'm working on these different versions of our doors. Gonna throw them in. And then I kind of want to maybe shop around for a new palette. Because this is the palette I made myself. Kind of trash. Kind of want to see what's available on low spec and maybe consider trying some different palettes out that are a little more flexible that I don't have to do myself. Happy Friday. Seems like it's gonna be a quiet day. You know, I've been live for 20 minutes or whatever. Seems a bit quiet. Okay with me. Flexible in what sense? I don't like more options. Like my palette, like the only reds are the dark because when I did the ramps, like I tried to like do the hue shifting that you're supposed to do. But there's consequences of it. Pretty much just for the red to yellow ramp. But also the jumps are kind of shit because I kind of just winged it. I kind of like went by luminosity or something like that. So I feel like some of the color ranges are fine. Like the first 4 greens, whatever, they ramp up pretty nicely. The last 4 greens kind of ramp up pretty nicely. I've noticed the color that I have in the middle of each of these is kind of weird. Kind of not related to the color on either side of it. So like I could tune this probably, but there's like gaps. There also aren't any browns in here. So I don't know. I just want to look for like some options because I don't know anything about color theory. I'm kind of hesitant to try to make another palette or spend too much time working on this one. Kind of want to just see if there's something that'll work for me. It has like, you know, some dozens of colors in it. I could have bright reds or deep yellows or whatever. Oh, we got a Banivator. Load the load the Tupon Fortito. I can't speak today. Photon torpedoes. Wow. Putative showdown. I tell you, let me show you what we think about your keep viewers. That's what we think. We've been blasted. Get out of here. All right, almost done recoloring this. Better do the other side. Oops. Oh, that's not what we wanted. Turn continuous back on. Go. Still not super happy with the shadow for the double door. I think it's a little too subtle. I think it starts maybe a little too early. Like if we wait another frame, we'd get a lot more. Get a lot more of a shadow. Maybe it's just the way of things. It's just such a severe arc. There's this one. I like the shadow that we get out of this. Kind of follows the same rules and actually starts at the same time as the double door. So maybe it's just a natural consequence. Maybe I don't need to worry about it. Yeah, part of it is just that the single door jumps down almost immediately. Yeah, it jumps down sooner, which widens the, or which increases the area that you can see in the shadow. We do the vertical motion is what I mean. We move the door up and down, which makes it easier to see the shadow. Double door takes longer to do that. Yeah, we don't see it till here, and by then it's like basically over. But I don't know, maybe it's enough. Maybe that's what you want, probably, is a subtle effect. Maybe a little too subtle, but whatever. I tried a different shape for the door yesterday, and it did not work. Not work out particularly well. We can see how we feel when we do the flipped version of the door, because there's this, and there's also the flipped version. Hey, Ryson. Wow, this looks terrible. All right. Yeah, we'll get to that. How's it going, Ryson? Happy Friday. All right, let's export these. Oh, I just closed something. Oh, shoot. Red alert. There's a raid coming in. I just closed my stream dashboard, so I can't see it. Who is it? Who is it? It's BIMLab, raiding me with a party of 9 viewers. Hello, BIMLab. How's it going? Welcome in. Welcome in, raiders. Shout out to BIM Lab. How's it going in the lab? What have you been up to? We are working on an FTL-like. We are working on like an isometric 3D style game that's kind of like FTL faster than light. It's a little bigger scale, maybe. Maybe it's got hints of like RimWorld in it or things like that. We've been mostly working, we're upgrading our doors a little bit, is what we're doing right now. But we've been mostly spending our time working on a tilemap editor tool. BimLab, you're working on a cozy pixel art game, so your stream seemed topical. Loving the art. Thank you. Yeah, what we've spent most of our time doing is working on this big pixel editor, so I can do like, here's like a floor, and we have an auto tiler. We have an isometric auto tiler handling everything for us. I can go down one level, fill it out, hollow out the room, put some doors. Some walls, some rooms. We have an we have a flood fill system that is telling where the compartments are, which is why the colors just changed like that. We can rotate the camera around, get a different angle. Right now it's rotating around the whole build area instead of around itself. That's something we need to fix. But yeah, this is a system we're working about how to build these 3D areas so we could keep going down. Eventually these will look like spaceships, I swear, instead of just apartment blocks. You can keep going. Lindsay Official. Love this art style. You love pixel characters that are only like a few pixels wide with no outline. Oh, yeah. We do outline for the environmental art. We've been kind of working on how to make this kind of perspective visible, which is a decent challenge because it's like, it's not really isometric. It's more of like a side-on view. So we've been working on how to make it so that you can actually see into these 3D spaces. So kind of a work in progress. But we're working on it. We're eventually going to have these big ships, I'm hoping. We're working on adding some more shapes so it's not just all cubes, but this has been a lot. But yeah, I also enjoy this kind of very low res art. I'm not really an experienced pixel artist myself, so this has been helpful working in this kind of environment. So we have like, I don't know, maybe I can find a crew member. Appreciate that, Sylvie. So we're still pretty simple when it comes to, I'm getting better at the inorganic stuff. Thank you for the follow. Still learning about the organic stuff, like our character art's really simple. Open this crew member. So like our crew member is just like this little guy. And like our run animations are just 2 frames, like technically 4 frames, but this is the kind of stuff we're working on. I find it helpful to be working at this small scale because anatomy really doesn't come into play at this scale. It's really just like 6 pixels wide by like 14 pixels tall or something like that. So this, for me, it's really easy to tell if I've put the pixel in the wrong spot here. Organic's always harder in pixel art, you feel? Yeah, that's what I'm learning. But at this scale, I'm feeling more comfortable with it because it's like really clear to me if I put a pixel in the wrong spot. I'm like, no, that needs to go up by 1 or down by 1, or oh, it just looks kind of, sometimes it just always looks a little weird, but the motion of it looks okay. So I'm learning all that stuff. This is my real first endeavor into pixel art. Or art of any kind, really. So this is all programmer art. But we're building it up. We're building it up over time. We've been working on some new versions of our doors. We've been working on some new versions of some single and double wide doors. And we're just about to export them and put them in the game. So our old versions of the doors were kind of thin. We're kind of narrow. And for a number of reasons, I want to try a door that's a bit thicker. mostly just for the auto tiler, make it easier. But I'm excited. I'm interested to see more about your game, BIMLab. I'm like very unsubtly looking for any links or anything. Screenshots. You're doing some Minecraft stuff a lot. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This looks cool. Oh yeah, you got a lot of good pixel art here. I like this environment. I like this. Oh, looks really cool. What kind of game is this for? Oh, looks really cool. Work in progress, no links yet. You got a demo around the summer, hopefully. You have VODs. You bought the tile set? Oh, no worries. Is this what you were working on today then? Like a character? I saw a character in here. I'm going to scrub through. Could have sworn I saw a character. This thing. This looks wild. I would never work on a character with this much resolution. This would terrify me. This is cool. This looks like it's gonna be a fun little romp through the woods. Cozy mushroom collecting game. That's awesome. Sounds great. You think higher resolution is actually easier? I've heard people say that. I've heard people say lower resolution is harder. I bet that's true, depending on what you're trying to do. I kind of just bend what I'm trying to achieve to what my restrictions are here. So like I've enjoyed working at this resolution. I think it works for me, but yeah, I'm definitely there's some stuff that's just right out. Like I don't know how I'm gonna do like FTL style like aliens, stuff like that. I don't know how I would even approach that. I'm ignoring that problem for now. All right, so if we wanted to export this, we need to do it one layer at a time. Oh, one of these is not as they appear. So I named this incorrectly. Upper. 16 by 16 is tougher for you. It's tough for you. Like I got it. You gotta head out, do some errands and stuff. No, awesome. Thank you for the raid. Take care of business. Hopefully I can catch one of your streams. Sounds like you stream before me, so that would be perfect. I'll try to catch one of your streams next time. Look forward to seeing progress on this project. Me too. I also look forward to seeing progress on this project. But yeah, thank you for the raid. Thanks for hanging out, raiders. We're gonna start exporting these layers here, get them in the game. The hotkey is this. So we're gonna say door, single, regular, outer, upper. That's an insane name, but it's consistent. Sheet type by rows. Let's just pack it. Oh, I forgot to turn off the background that I need to do. Turn this background off. I don't like drawing against the Sprite default background. I like putting something down, but I always forget to turn it off. Sounds good. Pixel art's really good. Keep it up. Thank you. We haven't been able to work on our pixel art in like a year, except for this door that I keep reanimating. So I'm really excited. We've been doing a lot of programming, as you can probably tell, with the auto tiler and stuff. But I am excited to get back to pixel art. All right, this should be fine. Visible layers, all frames. Good. Oh, I just did inner lower and I saved it as something else completely. Oops. Let me go grab that. Let's fix that. Rename that. You gray, you hate drawing on gray background. Yeah, unless I actually need the grid for something. Yeah, I hate it. Oh. Take it easy. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the raid. Hope to see you soon. And have a great weekend. It's Friday. Happy Friday. Bryson, thick doors now. Have you thought about making them into airlocks? Oh, there will be airlocks. We will have airlocks. I don't think we'll use a single door tile as like a double airlock. Like you aren't going to open one door, go in, and have another door. I think it'll be, the airlock would just be a room, like a designated room. Bryson, so there's an empty compression chamber in the middle of the doors. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have that in a single tile. I think we're going to have that. Because if you have these super full tile thick doors, you would, more than anywhere else, you would want these on, like, you would want these as outer doors. You wouldn't want like thinner doors forming the airlock. And yeah, and maybe these doors are too thick, but I don't know. It's going to make a lot of my job easier with the auto tiler, so we're going to try it. And I don't like some of the stuff that happens. I don't like this look. I know it possibly has the potential to be cool, but I don't like this inset look that we get with the doors here. I just don't like it. Like maybe it's better inside. Maybe it'd be better if I had more going on. Like it definitely looks better when you pulled the ceiling away. It looks fine. You can see the whole thing. There's character to that. But I'm having a hard time with the blood fill, with managing what color should the ground be. Like if there's two different textures, we have to mediate between them. Like just this whole thing. And I'd rather just not worry about that right now. So I'm just making the doors a full tile width or thickness. Hey, Matthew Sparks, happy Friday. Happy Friday, welcome in. How are you doing? All right, what are we doing? We're exporting. Oh, we're renaming a file that I misnamed. I'm just misclicking on everything today. File, all door. This was not supposed to, this was supposed to be door, single, regular, inner, lower. I called it outer, upper, and it's the inner, lower door. All right. I think I got that right. Inner, lower. Yeah, that's what we just did. So now we're going to switch to the inner, upper. We need to turn on the door frame. And we do our export sprite. Pretty good. Glad the week's over. How's it going here? It's all right. We're doing some little art update for our doors. Then I think we're gonna maybe try out some different color palettes. Within a second, will there be different kinds of doors down the line? Probably. There's a million ways to cut a door, right? Welcome in, by the way. Like we could have. I think it would be cool to have doors that are 4 pieces that kind of open out. But I think I'm going to do that on bigger doors. Like this door is 1 by 1. And then we have other doors that are 2 by 1 and 3 by 1. So they're like wider. But I think we'll also have taller doors. Doors that are like 2 by 2, 3 by 2. Like cargo hold doors and stuff. Those I want to do like 4 pieces. So they like open out or something like that. They have like multiple pieces that separate and like retract into the corners. Like I want to try some different stuff. Neat. Yeah. I'm just embracing scale. Because I think that's an advantage that we have the way we're setting this up is our ships can just be big. Like, you'll be amused by this. I think you'll enjoy this. Like, I think we're heading more into like a RimWorld direction as far as like the scale of like, you have these big ships that are these 64 by 64, like multiple tiles deep. You're not gonna be able to have that tight action, like the tight, very pristine action of like FTL. I think we're gonna move into a more plotting kind of like weird random shits happening kind of RimWorld style control system that's kind of indirect. I think that's more the direction because I don't think we'll be able to keep it tight and tactical the way FTL is at the scale because we're restricting people's information too much. Like they aren't going to really know what's going on at all times. So it's just gonna be a little looser by default. I don't know. We'll figure out how we can lean into that and make something more interesting. That's still interesting. Even if it controls a little looser. All right, so that's one more segment. Support that. This one, no. This is a regular outer upper, regular outer lower. Can I see it? Oh, there you are. Double check, make sure I'm not making some critical error here. Door single, regular outer upper. Can't see. There you go. Can't see. Ooh. Can't see. Woe is me. All right. Looks right. All right, that's it for the single door. Turn both of them back on, I guess. Save the thing. Double door time. Oh, Jesus. Did I like recolor? I did. I like just fully recolored the door. I didn't like make a copy. All right. Well, rip. Fine. We'll just have to do it again, but the other way. So this is regular inner lower door. This is regular inner upper door. Bryson, maybe make a floor layer that opens up the same way your doors do. That way you can stack the doors so it behaves like it's one big 2+ layer door. Oh yeah, that's going to be, I didn't think about that. That's going to be a complicating factor, isn't it? A door that's a 2x2 door will include the floor layer between it. That's fine. That's fine. That's mostly fine. If they're full tile thickness, that's not actually a problem. But yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Pretty much anything that stretches over one deck is going to need to think about that. Is going to need to confront that issue. That is a good point. Perfect time to use the color ramp brush. Kind of, except that I've picked the like. You're not wrong, but I'm very particular about like the jumps that are happening here. I guess that kind of would work. We can try it. That's like exactly what Adam intended, isn't it? I say as if they're the one that made this program. Oh, did this wrong. Yeah, I'll turn that on and let's see if that does what we think it does. I mean, the problem is I'd have to mask out the arrows and stuff. Like I'll just select this area and try it. Yeah, let's try it. That sounds fun. So we do this. So I do this. I select the area I want to change. I go to this. I turn this on. I pick this. And then how can I tell whether I want to go down? I just reverse it. I turn the size up. Now you just have to remember how to do it. Yeah, exactly. This should work. That's a good point. This should work like instantly. Okay. Not doing anything. Let me reverse the shade. It's still not doing anything. Maybe I don't understand how this works. Do I have to pick one? No, it should do it for me. Huh. What if I turn the selection off? I do the same thing. No, it doesn't do anything. Oh, I can't. It is doing something. I'm an idiot. I'm hiding. I hid the layer. Yeah, I completely butchered everything. Undo, 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 undo. There we go. I was like, what the fuck is going on? There's these layers that I put above it. Okay, this should work now. This is cool. Look at that. How far do we go though? Is it like this? 2 layers? That's awesome. Did I get it right? I think so. Okay. That's awesome. That's a great way to do it. The only trick is I have to do it for more than 1 frame. It only replaces colors you have as part of the color ramp, so you shouldn't have to mask out anything. Oh, okay. That should make this easy. So go to the next frame. Well, okay, I need to mask out some of this because this is part of the thing. Or I just need to be careful. Which I am never careful. But no, that's easy enough to avoid. This is cool. Look at us. Look at us with our workflow. Our advanced workflow. Shading this down to the next level. We're going to need to do a second pass. But I'm having fun. We do this again. Oh, super careful not to get the corners there. This is so rad. Thanks for pushing me to use this tool. This is magic. This is going to make it so much easier to handle lighting. If we do the lighting as just shades in the ramp, it's going to make it so much easier. I mean, except for drawing shadows, you'll still have to just do that. Cool. Cool beans. Now we just do the upper one. Little trickier, this one. Yeah, a little trickier. I gotta be careful not to get the top, and then I gotta go through and get the rest. Oh, shoot. This one's gonna be harder. This one I might have to mask. It's too easy to affect other stuff accidentally. Because the other parts of the door all use the same. I can just move the selection, though. Oh, this is kind of annoying. Maybe I can do it like this. Save myself some trouble. Oh, I should have done both while I was there. I need to do both passes. I have to move this selection mask every time. Super cool. I feel like a real artist. I need to change those hotkeys. You would expect select to be S. It's like M. Kind of weird. Almost done. Oh, I lost it. M for marquee tool, maybe? Yeah, maybe. I can't really access any of the keys on the right side of my keyboard very easily, so I want to put them all on the left hand. I just haven't bothered to do it because I'm terrible about workflows. I'm terrible about improving my workflows. Hey, Rhiannon Journey. How's it going? Happy Friday. How are you doing today? Oh, that was it. Did it. I hope. Really hope that was right. It looks right. That looks consistent. All right, now we just got to export all these. Door, double, inner, lower. Oh, door, double, regular, inner, lower. I feel like maybe we should put regular or flipped last. Double, door, double, inner, lower, regular. Regular is just as an alternative to flipped, but maybe I don't need to include regular. Maybe I can just have flipped when it's flipped. Or have it call it reverse or something like that. Door, double, inner, lower. I like that better. Oh, I forgot. I forgot about the background. Oops. I always forget about the background. Happy Friday. It's going pretty good today. Wrapping up work and looking forward to the weekend. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm going out of town this weekend. So no stream tomorrow, but be good. Be nice. Be nice to get out for a couple of days. Door, double, inner, lower. Save. This and this. We need the door frame whenever we're doing this one. Whenever we're doing the upper door. Double door, inner, upper. Pretty inefficient packing that's happening here, but I don't think I care particularly much. We're not talking about any kind of texture resolution that's going to matter. Eventually, maybe we put everything into like a big atlas for each hull type, or at least for each like combination that you'd use. But at the moment, we don't care. At the moment, we favor flexibility. All right. Door, double, outer, upper. Oh, wait, did I not have the... That was outer, lower. Door, double, outer, lower. Kind of hard to keep all of this straight. All right, this is door, outer, upper. All right, I like that. Let's go into Godot and rename some files. We're going to call this, we're going to rename this. We're going to get rid of regular. And when we do the flipped versions or the reversed versions or whatever I want to call them, I'm just going to add that to the end. All right, we got ads. Got ads incoming. It's a warning. I don't think we're going to do anything about it. Great time to subscribe. So you don't miss out on all the action. No, I'm just kidding. Shouldn't be shilling that. I have a day job. Please nobody ever feel pressured to like support the channel in any financial way. It's like truly okay. I just appreciate having people here watching and contributing their ideas, saving me from myself when it comes to my terrible workflows. All right, that should be it for the single and double doors. We just got to change the tile map. Rhiannon Journey subscribed with Prime. You're too kind. Thank you for beaming up. Yep, we got you. Just beamed you up. Appreciate it. I really appreciate the Bezos bucks. But again, just spending your time here is huge. When I started streaming, I told myself it'd be worth it if I just had one viewer. And now I have almost 10. It's incredible. Incredible how far we've come. Matthew Sparks, you're designing workflows for your new ticketing and project management platform. Talk about terrible workflows. Oof. Yeah, that I don't know why ticketing and project management workflows are always terrible. I don't know why they're universally terrible. Matthew, they've entrusted a singular person to do all this, so the next month or two should be great. That's amazing. You'll fix it all. I trust. All right. To the tile map. Where is it? Give me that tile set. All right. Whole default. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete our old door tiles and make some new ones. What do your texture origins look like? 12? That sounds about right. Okay. By yours. -413. That's super weird. Why is it that? Well, I think it'll be a lot more straightforward with the new system, with the new full tile thickness doors. Right, delete that. Delete that. I'm really hoping that since I've deleted that whole source ID, when I go back in here and I try to make new layers, when I go to make the atlas, Rhiannon, you forgot that you had the Prime. You might as well benefit. I might as well benefit. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's how it should be. Just forget that you have it and you remember it. You're like, oh. All right. So wait, hold on. How am I doing this? Oh, this is for like the actual, I need to make a proxy. I forgot about the proxy. Hold on. We have to make the proxy file, everyone. I forgot to do it. So we're going to do what did that look? What did that look like? Okay, it was just this. It's just outer door, inner door, outer flipped, inner flipped. So we're not even going to bother with the inner flipped because we aren't actually ever picking them. So we're just going to do outer than inner. And then alt tile from them. Okay, that's like the easiest thing in the world. New. What does it need to be? It needs to cover 2 single doors. So it's whatever this is twice. 64 by 32. Oops. .64 by 32. Plug in our atlas for the moment until we find a new one. Can't wait. Can't wait to do a little palette shopping in a bit. High sat, low sat. That actually is one cool thing about our palette is we have high saturation versions of this palette and we also have low saturation versions of it. That's maybe the one cool thing about it. And the low sat one actually I think is a lot better in a number of ways, but it's also pretty limited in the number of colors it can display. And that was so that I could do have low contrast background stuff. Or have good contrast between the background and the foreground. That was the intention behind it. I don't know if I actually achieved that, but that was the idea. This is regular. Oh, I actually need to copy both of you. Okay, whatever, who cares? So this is going to be, this layer is going to be single outer door. We'll also have a single inner door. Single inner door. And we're just making these because these are just texture proxies, or these are just Atlas proxies. So like the actual doors are probably going to be nodes even. I mean, they'll be in the tile map as a scene collection, but they'll be nodes. So they'll handle animation and all that stuff. Whereas right now we're just loading up a tile proxy, which is just like the texture, just like the raw texture of it. So I need to do the upper door first. Yes. And then we copy the lower door over it. And that's the door. That's the door proxy. And we just do single inner door, same deal. We do the upper section first. I mean, honestly, I could have just copied both layers probably, and it probably would have been fine, but you don't want my workflow to be too good. You don't want me to be too productive. That would be dangerous. So this is going in here. It's terribly organized. This is door, single, proxy. We can just export it like this, door, single, proxy. And we'll do a double door proxy. Actually, let's set up the single door proxy just to make sure I did this correctly. Still concerned about assigning a new set of alternative tiles. Single proxy. Sure. Wait, why are you ID 14? You should be ID 12. Go. It's weird how it doesn't overwrite stuff that you've deleted. I guess that's like safer. That's like the safer thing to do. And not go too crazy overwriting things. Gotta go back and remove tiles outside the texture. Oh, we should probably give this a name. Actually, we don't need to give it a name. Door single proxy. Well, we can call it door single proxy. And we just got to give this an offset, and the offset is very easy. It's like probably that. Yeah, it is. Probably just that. Do it over here too. I acknowledge I could have done both those at the same time. Here's the trick. Here's the thing that I'm not sure about. If I create an alternative tile, will it be alt tile 1? Oh, thank God. Okay, I thought it was going to be alt tile 2. If I deleted this and then recreated it, it would be alt tile 2 and I couldn't go back. Is my understanding. Although maybe I could go back here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Try to do that again. So let's say, let's delete this. Make another one. So now it's 2. Can I go back to 1? Oh, I can. I'm just a fool. I didn't see that up there. Ignore me. So we flip H and we set the correct texture. Hey, Diginanigans, how's it going? How are you today? All right, now we do this. Make an alternative here. Same deal, flip H. Move the texture origin down. And that's it. These are our new single door proxies. Now we just need to make the double door proxies. Happy Friday, Diginanigans. All right, double door, door that is double. We have extra time. Maybe we set up the triple door, famed triple door. Shenanigans, not too bad. Just crunching to get some stuff done for the week before the weekend. Nice. You just gotta, yeah, sometimes you just gotta work that much harder just to be done. Just be able to fully let go over the weekend. All right, so this is gonna be whatever 48 is twice. 96. 96 by 36 is what we said. Not that we actually said it. Gotta change the... I do this weird thing where I set this up to be indexed, and I feel like that's maybe not the most helpful thing. I like always set these to be indexed. And it's because if I change the palette, I would just like to be able to update the thing. What I need to do is assign a default. If we can find a new palette that we like that we can just use instead of having to switch between high sat and low sat and stuff, I would love that. And I would love to be able to just set it up as the default palette for everything we do. That would make me happy. So we're grabbing this. We're grabbing upper. Gonna make this outer. Oops. Outer upper door. Is that what I called this? Yeah, single inner door. Okay, we call this double outer door. The other half of it. Another layer for the other one. Double inner door. That. I call this double door proxy. All right. Now we should be able to set that up in here. New Atlas, double door proxy. Yeah, sure. These are awkwardly sized. 36, 38. Gotta go back in there, remove it outside. Go in here. Wait, hold on. I did this wrong, didn't I? Yeah, I need to separate these, don't I? Yeah, I do. Okay. Okay. So I need to do this. I'm gonna regret the fact that this extends past this point. It would be optimal if the double door only extended, like if each section of the double door stopped earlier. Like if we just did, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. It'd be great if we had 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then the door stopped. But that would mean just a door that just goes straight up and down, and that's no fun. So we're not doing that. I like having an angle to the door. But because we're doing that, we have to be a little weirder about how we set this up. So this instead is going to be, oh shoot. We need to go find the old double door, or the old double door proxy. That should be under object, door, double, proxy. This. So it was lower outer, lower inner, upper outer, upper inner. Okay, so it starts with the lower, goes both out, upper, or goes outer, inner, then does upper, outer, inner. Okay, I can do that. I can do it. It's doable. I need more space. How wide is this area? 40? 160? Ryson, maybe only use the thin doors when they are between two enclosed rooms. Maybe. You mean like we use the thin doors internally because then we don't have the same, we could still have, because right now the only distinction between the halls is that they're the inner and outer halls. But that's like a super arbitrary distinction. What we might end up doing in the future is like, you might be like, the engineering room is using a different texture set than the hallway. Or the barracks is using a different texture set than, I don't know, the bridge. Like, yes, I think we could swing that where we could switch to like a thinner door if we knew that the textures on both sides were the same. Or we could do something else and we could have like an under door texture. We kind of got to wait and see what we like doing and what we end up doing. But yeah, that's an option. That's definitely an option. We're going to resize this to be 192. I don't know if I care about doing layers for all of these, but I probably should. Double. Lower outer door. Oops. Deleted the whole thing. All right, here are all the layers we need. So we'll just copy over the door layers. We'll do it one at a time instead of trying to do both of them at the same time. So outer lower door goes here. You go first. Then we have inner lower door. Do that over here. Outer upper door. Inner upper door. Okay, and that's all we need for the door proxy right now. Port that. Back to the way it was. All right, this should work now. So we go back to setup. Add those. Yeah, this should work now. So even trim these a little bit. So we could take the texture region down to 40. Take this region down to, I don't know, 28 or something. Oh, we can tighten it up there. Fine. We need a separation, an X separation of some number of pixels. I don't know. Wow, I guessed it exactly right on the first try. Incredible. Why isn't there a tile here? There kind of is. Not showing up. Oh, what the hell is going on here? Oh, this won't work. I can't do this. Because they're not balanced. That's fine. I don't care. So texture region is going to be 48 by 36. Margin is 0. There we go. Oh, okay, so if it can't fit them, it doesn't show them. I see. We're just going to put the texture origin in the correct place and not really care about anything else. U2, have your texture origin here. There we go. That's right. You two have yours over here. Make sure I got that verticality correct here. Not sure that I did. Oh, no, I did. Okay. Go over to 16. All right, that should be it for that. Let's see if we did it. See if we did it. Throw that down. Did I go too far? I did. I need something to help me see what's on the layer above me. Even when I don't know. I can always tweak the visibility rules during building. Oh, it works. Very plug and play. All right, so the ugly thing left over is some of the outlining rules that's creating a really terrible set of outlines. But I know, I understand the problems with that, so I'm not terribly concerned about it now. What's happening here? So is the double door not working? No, the double door is not working. Why is that? The inner double door working? Oh, I guess we need to wait for the flood fill to go through. There we go. So that's working. When we rotate around, we just get the same. It doesn't try to rotate the doors, which is a problem, but a problem I can live with for now. And if I try to throw a second door here, It just doesn't render anything. Okay. That's fine. That's something we've encountered before. So you're the old version of the double door proxy. Oh, I needed to make the alt tiles. I didn't do that. But what else is there be the problem? Actually, not sure what else the problem could be, but let's do that first. Something that we obviously need to do. Gotta make alt tiles. We do that here. Oh, your ID is wrong. Oops, I forgot about that. How Godot doesn't automatically overwrite IDs. Probably because of unintentional changes can create horrible data loss. As they warn you about when you try to do it. I just gotta set their tile or their texture origins. Probably should have done both those at the same time. But again, we don't want my workflow to be too good. We want some inefficiency. Oh, I can't actually change more than one of them at a time. Interesting. All right, that should work now. Single door. Okay, I do like the full tile thickness doors. There's some weird stuff happening with outlining. Oh, I understand why that's happening. That's happening because the door isn't actually capable of changing its outline. Oh no, that doesn't totally make sense. But yeah, that we actually can't fix that easily, so we're not going to try. All right, double doors. Sort of. Double doors in the wrong spot. How about this one? Ho, ho, ho. Okay. Oh, I didn't actually set the flip H. Oops. You gotta flip the H. Or what are we even doing here? Okay, but why was this one positioned in the wrong spot? Do I not understand where the texture origin should be? I probably don't. Probably just an idiot. Oh, it should actually probably be here, shouldn't it? Yeah. 810. True facts. I actually don't know where that's supposed to go. There we go. Oh, great. And I have to reposition these because I flipped them. Can I just say 8? Go. And then these ones, this is like what, negative 8, 10? Yep. Negative 8, 10. All right, now this should be good. All right, draw this out. Bloop. All right, so yeah, except for some outlining issues that I understand how to fix and just haven't fixed. I like that better. I like that better than having the weird recess. It also frees us to put some cool stuff like door panels and stuff on the walls next to it instead of having to try to squeeze it into the gap. What about a double door? Oh, double door is working beautifully. We're going to wait for the flood fill to fix. Yeah, there we go. We're going to wait 20 seconds for the flood fill to finish running. I actually don't know what we're going to do about the flood fill. The only idea that anyone has given me that's any good is to do a jump flood, which is like a GPU powered like flood fill. And I was thinking about that, and like at first I didn't want to do it because I've done compute shader stuff before, but especially if it's compute shader stuff that needs to be read back to the CPU, that can be slow and kind of weird. But you know, it's probably still going to be faster than running a flood fill sequentially. And this is like what, a tilemap game, right? So like, what's our GPU doing most of the time? Nothing, right? Nothing. I mean, maybe we're going to ask it to do some like, yeah, I don't know what we're going to ask it to do, like post-processing. I don't know. Probably mostly shaders. But yeah, we probably have some GPU headroom that we can use. Okay, yeah, I like this. Because this door is still readable, even with the ceiling tile over it. Whereas like the recessed version of the door, the ceiling tiles made that like a huge pain in the butt to see. I still need to do the flipped version of the door because it's still awkward that it doesn't attempt to flip the door. Although I bet literally nobody would notice that if I didn't mention it. The fact that the diagonal line across the door doesn't change when you flip it 180 degrees. I feel like I could actually get away with that and nobody would care. But I would care, so we'll fix that eventually. The best argument I could hear is that these doors are just too thick. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to like blast through them? I feel like it's more likely that we're going to do the Star Wars thing where instead of blasting through the door, which like almost never happens, there's just going to be a panel that someone's just going to open up and they're going to start hacking the door. And like, that's how you get into a hostile door. You like hack through it or something. Like maybe you can weld the door shut. I don't know. This is weird happening here. Or if I place this door, it gets confused and doesn't understand where it is. Huh. You'd think it would just take the partition of the underlying door. But it seems to be overwriting the partition. No, here it's taking the partition of the wall, but here it's overwriting it. Like flipping it to dark gray. Shouldn't be doing that. And I think I understand why it's doing that. Blast through the thinner internal doors? Maybe. I mean, I want blasting through walls and doors to like be an option. I definitely want that to be an option, but it should be a very serious option. And it should be difficult, and you should be able to see it coming. Like, it should take long enough that you could, like, do something about it. That also would be a pretty severe thing to have to repair. Like, oh, our door is gone. Like, what do you mean the door is gone? It's like a 2 meter by 2 meter by 2 meter block of solid metal. It's like, no, I don't know. It's just gone now. Maybe also have internal walls be half as thick as well. No, because you're cutting to the core reason of why we have everything be one tile thick, and it's so that there's no such thing as a half tile. Because like for blending textures and stuff, not blending, but for like auto tiling and everything, having anything be a half tile would be like a huge pain in the butt. Because you'd have to define all of the ways those tiles meet, and there'd be so many crazy things to do. I think we're just gonna have fully thick, like we have enough real estate now. Like the reason I didn't want to do that originally was because like FTL doesn't have that. Like FTL gets away with their size ships because like their walls are wafer thin. Like they actually don't take up space at all. But their rooms are also 2x2s and 2x1s and stuff. Like, we have a scale now available to us. Like, we're supporting ship sizes up to like 4 times the length of this ship with multiple decks. Like, I feel like we have the space for. I feel like we have enough available space to like make walls matter. It has ceased to be. It is no more. Fighting for the fjords, yeah. But there's stuff I want to do with the walls. I want you to actually have to pick, like, well, maybe not you, me as the shipbuilder. Like, I want it to matter where like the it is pining for the fjords. I see. I want power conduits to matter. I want like if someone severs a power conduit by like maybe blowing up a wall or blasting it with something. You can make references that I don't understand, Raisin. I'm not offended. I'm a forgetful person. So there's a lot of times where a reference will just go right over my head. I'm also not particularly cultured. All right, what am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm fixing the flickering of the door thing, which I think is a merge block conflict. I think we're spotting a merge block problem. So merge block is here. If the incoming block is a door, then if the existing has any, is itself either a block or a door, then we make a new block. Yes, here it is. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. We aren't actually carrying over. We actually need to say this a little differently. What is the block constructor like? Okay, so you can make a block. You can include part as in the constructor. Oh, it's also optional. The Monty Python skit that you messed up. I actually have all of. Excuse me. I actually have the whole Flying Circus on DVD, and yet I don't have a DVD player, so I never watch it. I have this stack of discs that's like, no joke, like the size of like the height of my like head, and it's just full of Blu-rays and DVDs and stuff. And like, but like I haven't had a Blu-ray player since like the PS3 or something. Kind of a shame. I was gonna get a Series X a few years ago with the Blu-ray player, and then it was just so impossible to get. I ended up getting a Series S instead, and now I just don't watch Blu-rays, which I didn't think was a problem. But now all of my favorite things are just being removed from streaming services, and like I need my Blu-rays again. All right, so what we could do is we could just say with part, with existing.part. Pretty much want to do that in every case. This completely overrides it. All right. I see what we need to do. We're not going to override, especially because it just takes so long. We're never going to override partitions when we're merging blocks. We're always just going to take whatever the underlying partition was. Okay, here we should put it in the object initializer. So we say incoming dot face, or not incoming, existing. So we want incoming face and we want the existing part. All right, that should be fine. Bryson, get an external drive and start ripping and making your own media server. Fun side project. I've seen people go down a dark path doing that. I had a friend who ended up with a server in his closet that had all of Wikipedia on it, including the photos, which is like 40 terabytes or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but it was like a huge number. There's a slippery slope when you make your own media server. All right, so I'm gonna do this. We're gonna say incoming.face an existing part. We'll just keep doing this. This is easy. Return incoming with part equals incoming existing part. We always want to just accept whatever underlying partition there was. And if that no longer becomes the case, the flood fill will update it for us. All right, that should help. Erasing, I'm not super concerned. Here I call it current versus active. Here I call it existing versus incoming. I don't know what I prefer. Is this going to be a problem? Oh no, we just say current with some stuff. Let's see. Okay. All right. Well, I think that fixed that issue. We shouldn't see that flicker when we throw a block down or when you throw a door down anymore, or even a block. We shouldn't see any kind of flickering of the hull color. It should just be stable. We do have to wait like 20 seconds for the flood fill to run. Still going. Yeah, I'm coming around to the jump flood idea. Then we could at least get it done in like a handful of frames. We're also going to need it. Oh, it also won't. Never mind. It's done. It just won't update until I move the cursor. That I also need to fix. I need to fix that. It's not as bad as I'm giving it credit for. I also need some kind of way of rendering invalid doors. Right now, if I place a door that's an invalid, it won't render, even though the door is still there. And that is going to cause me some pain someday. Where I'm going to be like, what's going on? Okay, yeah, we're not seeing that flicker anymore when you mouse over a door to place another door there. It's not changing the hull color. It's just accepting whatever the underlying hull color, which is kind of hilarious when you do something like this. Although I guess actually erase might actually... Oh yeah, erase is interesting. Erase is a special case. Erase behaves a little differently. Oh, that was cool. You could see almost the air get sucked out of the room as the flood fill worked. I'm just kind of timing it in my head here. Well, it's over 10 seconds. It's still going. Oh, geez. This doesn't seem... There we go. Oh, was it not updating again for some reason? Go. Let's try it this way. Okay, that was weirdly fast. Now how long is it going to take? Oh, it's doing it. It's doing it. It's updating things. It should stabilize relatively soon. Yeah, we need to work on our flood fill. There we go. Oh, well. There it is. Now it's stable. Yeah, that's not good. That takes like half a minute. Really bad. It's because it's trying to cover this entire region. Which in reality will never need to be. We don't need to flood fill the whole thing. You don't need to do a 64 by 64 by 8 volume. You just need to do whatever the ship actually contains. But we're not trimming the ship down. So we don't have a flexible build area that expands and contracts as the building does and keeps like a local center. That's something we need to work towards. Very much so. That's cool. That's for another time. All right, well we got the new doors in. We did what we set out to achieve. Got our shiny new doors. Soon we're gonna have little characters running around and opening doors and closing doors. It's gonna be great. Let's do something fun. Go to low spec. Shenanigans. Other thing you can do to optimize is break it into a smaller grid. If you calculate one section of the grid is valid, it can stay valid unless that section is altered or wall is deleted. Yeah. There's many optimizations to make. Part of the thing is it's hard to separate into a grid because you can go up and down. But yeah, unless it detects a structural change, it doesn't need to run it. And you're right, it only needs to tell when's the next. Yeah, then you only need to flood fill a section at a time after the initial pass. Yeah, so we break it up into compartments, and then you're like, okay, this compartment changed. Did that change affect a nearby compartment? Okay, then we check that compartment. And yeah, you just go through that, and that's probably going to be much faster than what we're doing, which is brute force checking the entire volume every time there's any change. Yeah, there's lots of optimizations to make. So who knows? Maybe we'll get it to the point where it is fine to just be on one thread of the CPU and just chilling. Because what I would like to do is have each ship have its own thread for that. So like we can also split it by entity. So one ship will do it and then another ship. But I wanted to look around for some pallets. I wanted to shop around for some pallets. We talked about doing this yesterday. I think it'd be a fun way to kind of end the stream. End, quote unquote. We'll spend a little time doing this. I got to cut out a little early. We can't go as long as we did yesterday. Yesterday we went like 4 hours. It was a huge stream. I want to sort by like downloads, I guess. What's happened? Is it like fetching it? What's going on here? There we go. That's default. Can I get downloads? It says there's 4,000 results. We don't want the most downloaded palette because, you know, we don't want something too obvious, but I would like to try out some different ones. Here we go. Indesga 32, Foolbox recommended this to us. It seems awfully high saturation, but maybe that's what we're going for. Like, I tried to have low sat and high sat, but if you look here, we're like only using high sat. We're going for like kind of like a Star Trek TOS, like very high saturated, like very colorful modern look. Maybe not everyone will look like that. So that's tempting. Apollo is very good. Apollo is also very tempting. Apollo just has this super long grayscale ramp, which I really like. That might be a little too on the nose to use that one, but really good. Really good. Resurrect 64. I haven't actually seen this one before. Let's open this one up. It'd be nice if there were a few more pieces to these. Ooh, what's this? I like this. I like how where it says more palettes, it just shows you the palette. Like it doesn't give you a name or anything. I like this. It's a little, I don't know what the right word is. Yeah, it's a little warm. Maybe it's too warm for space. Here's something I'm concerned about here. Is it all right if I use this in a game? Sure, why not? There's no licensing information anywhere on low spec, but people kind of just use it. And I feel like that's because a palette, like if you make a piece of art using a palette that's like a transformational work or something, I don't know. It makes me a little uncomfortable. The fact that the low spec doesn't have any kind of licensing page or anything that I can find. How about us, maybe? I don't know. That probably isn't clear enough. Maybe when you upload a palette, you agree to some things. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little concerning to me. Part of the reason why I wanted to do my own palette was just to own it completely and not worry about anything like that. But I feel like everyone uses low spec, so I don't think that's a real concern. Yeah, Ryson says Sprite has a bunch of palettes as well. That is true. That is true. I like some of them. Like I like some of these. I like AAP64. I like this one a lot. I like this palette. It's got a lot of options. Very cool palette. AAP 128 is somehow worse. It's got like too many options. It doesn't even have a red anywhere in it. There's like some burnt oranges, but like it's missing a lot. But it's pretty cool. There's some cool restricted ones too. Kind of like HEP 32. Good. A lot of classic retro ones. Oh, Rosie 42 is awesome. This one's a good one. It's very bright. Also like no red, but yeah, there's some cool ones on here for sure. There was another one I liked, and I don't remember where it is. Oh, Zugi 32. I like this one a lot. This one's simple, but it's got a lot of nice tones in it. I'm looking for kind of a maximalist approach. I'm looking for something that's kind of like mine, where it has these really long ramps. Got these very clear, like really long ramps. I feel like I'm going to need to do a lot of static lighting. I'm pretty sure it has Apollo and Desga. Well, my version doesn't, but yeah, this is cool. Sunset's cool. This one's also cool. one's got a lot of options. Look at this. Like there's like a red to yellow, but there's also one that's just kind of like more restricted. Look at all these options. Subtle differences. If they're missing anything, it's like a grayscale maybe. I guess they have 2 grayscales. Does one lead into the other one? I don't think so. Yeah, so there's only like 4 steps here and 5 steps here. Maybe this one can lead into like, I don't know. This is the kind of stuff that I can't particularly figure out on my own. But this is a good one. Resurrect 64. We like this. I like Apollo. I'm gonna open Apollo. There's an Indesca version that's 64. Tempting. I really like the structure of Apollo, though. I really like the very clear ramping and the continuations that it's got. I really like that. Like, I don't know. The jumps here feel so natural and feel so good compared to like some of the jumps that I've gotten mine. Just feel so bad. They just feel jarring, some of the jumps. Like I've noticed that it's actually these middle ones of the 9 always just feel a little weird. They don't feel quite coherent with the one before or the one after. Maybe I did too much hue shifting between them. Very strange. I mean, I don't know. We could always take the maximalist approach and just keep building on my palette and just keep expanding it and trying out different ramps and stuff. Kind of torn how much effort I want to try to put into this stuff that's obviously not something I'm like particularly well suited to or experienced in. I have no color theory. Oh yeah, here's AAP 64. This is a goodie. Oh, I like how they drew the ramp. I'm gonna click on this just to see that. We're definitely heading into wanting like a 64 color palette at least. I think less than that is really not going to provide the flexibility that we need. Yeah, look at these ramps. That's probably a format I should look at is how this stuff goes. Try to understand that a little better. Journey seems good. This one seems really good. I really like these stylized limited palettes, but it's definitely not the kind of thing we're looking for. I think the variety of things we need to render is just too high. This one's pretty good for 24 colors. It looks more a lot more coherent here. Oops. This one's cool, very natural. I really like this one, 31, but we're not making a game set in nature. We're making a game set in a very artificial environment. Oh, here's Zugi 32. That's a good one. We were talking about that one on Ace Sprite. This is a really simple one, but it just has it all. It's also got all these wonderful brown tones. That's another one where it's like, that seems great for natural environment, but since we're in an artificial environment, I'm almost more particular or more interested in something like Apollo that has like this, like all of these, this really enormous ramp of gray. Or like Resurrect, which also has some similar options, but also some kind of weirder colors, some less natural colors. This one is wild. Like, what is even going on here? Maybe I like this one. Look at how... oh, is this repeating itself? Or are these actually all different colors? I'm going to look at it. This is enormous. 256 colors. That's the kind of maximalist stuff we're talking about here. I'm interested in that. Next time we jam, we should pick like a minimal color palette and just go with it. I think that could be fun. I've always wanted to work in like a minimal color palette like this. I think it'd be really fun. This is also a huge 256 color selection. This one's almost maybe too many. I mean, I say that and I said I liked the other 256. We're definitely going to open every single 256. Shenanigans. I think one of the things you'll want to consider is that you will want higher contrast between the things that you want to stand out compared to the background, such as your people, and if you need to interact with the consoles on the wall or whatever. Yeah, I have that counted for in my palette. So here we have the high saturated version of the palette. And then if I go over to my palettes here, so we have the high sat palette. There we go. Now we can just see all of it. We have this high sat palette. And we have a low sat version. I actually really like the low sat palette. I think actually the ramps turned out a lot better. There's still some awkward parts. Like I don't like this. We still don't really have a good red. I mean, maybe I just need to work on my palette. Because yeah, I thought about that and I was like, I want a high sat and a low sat. So far, I've pretty much only used the high sat for anything. So, because the grayscale is exactly the same for both, and I pretty much just used the grayscale. But yeah, I think that's a good point. I think that's a good point. But I also think that we could achieve a similar goal, which is outlining what you want. I don't know. I definitely have a problem with that here because I think this whole thing was made with the high sat. And I think you mentioned it even yourself. There's like an issue with this piece is that everyone really just blends in. Like there's not enough, like there's some good contrast with like the gold versus the chairs, but like it's really hard to see all of this. Or like I could see how if everyone started moving around, it would be really hard to pick things out that you were interested in. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's something we should keep in mind. I don't know. We might end up just browsing around for a while and I just decide to like keep working on my palette. At least guaranteed to be different in that case. Indecision. Let's just pick this one. I should think more about our setting and what that means. Like, here's like warm, desaturated colors, which is great for a certain setting. Like, here's like the Hollow Knight palette, which says it's 4 colors. Okay. I really like some of these more subdued palettes. But I don't think that's our vibe. Let's simplify things by saying we want between. Oh, can I not specify a between? Oh, I can specify a minimum. I want at least, if not more than 64. I don't even want to consider anything with less than 64 colors in it. I'm interested in this dual. Seems really good. The perfect palette 2.0. Funny. Low spec 2000. Oh, that's funny. This is like a weird collab. This one seems really cool and is probably very incoherent, but I still want to look at it. Sonic Roboblast? Yeah, Sonic Roboblast. This is wild. At this point, like, what are you even doing? Why is there even a palette? That's like no Joel's joke about my palette is 256 by 256 by 256. like I just have 3 channels of 256. That's my palette. Like, okay, hardy har. This one's pretty wild, I'm not gonna lie. We'll at least open it. It's way oversaturated, but that's very much a Sonic vibe. Hot highlights, cold shadows. Highlights ramping towards hot colors, the shadows ramping towards cold. You have an immersive contrast that is pleasing to the eye. That is true. That is true. Kind of like this one. We're gonna look at this one as well. This is more colors than I would have expected to be in the Doom palette. Pretty wild. Minecraft palette. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of hey Trevoron, you love this site. Yeah, we're shopping around for some palettes cuz like I have a couple custom palettes that I use, but I'm looking to see if maybe there's an opportunity to do something else. How's it going? Very excited for the Block Shop release soon. I know you worked on music for that. Happy Friday. It'd be nice if there was a palette that kind of went across the spectrum as far as like you'd have vibrancy and like more muted stuff and like had more of a range. Yeah, I don't really want to try to do this myself. Here's a successor to the EDG 64 that I'm interested in. This is like way too vibrant, but still interested. Oh, I like this. The slightly desaturated nature of this is nice. Going well. You're getting excited for the release as well. Yeah. How's it going today? Pretty good. Pretty good. We updated some of our art, got it in the game. Now we're kind of closing out by just kind of looking at some options that we maybe have. This one seems nice. This one seems really flexible. I think we are leaning more towards something bright and colorful for our setting. Like, we're not trying to do Battlestar Galactica over here. Shenanigans. If you have one that's got good colors that are really saturated, just duplicate it, desaturate the entire palette, and optionally hue shift it slightly cooler. Genius. You're a genius. Good. That's a good way to go. Trevron, I think last time I saw you were working your shipbuilder. It's been a bit. Yeah, we still are. We still are. Still very much deep in that. We've unlocked a lot of the limitations of it, so we have this like enormous build area that we can use now. But we're still basically doing the same thing. We still really don't have all the pieces and variety that I want. We're still just basically creating housing blocks, flying housing blocks. We got some new doors in today that are thicker that I kind of like. They're not recessed into the walls. Kind of enjoy that. Our flood fill is taking forever. We were talking about that earlier. Yeah, it's still basically the same. We have maybe a more sophisticated cutaway system, maybe, than we had last time. Down, down. We've opened it up so we can make these enormous things. But we're gonna need to do. Where even are we? Oh, we're way at the top. Okay. Follow this out. So we have this kind of cutaway system that I'm moderately happy with. That kind of carves things away as you try to look inside the constructions. You need to decide how to deal with where you get through the edge. I guess that's fine because you might want to look behind something. But yeah, we've gone big. We're trying to stress test the system and see what our limitations are. Right now, our limitation is flood filling. Yeah, the flood fill is like freaking out. It just takes so long. You can see it. It will converge upon stability, but man, it takes it a while to get there. There we go. Well, wrong. Okay, now it's trying to update it again. Yeah, we gotta. This is maybe a technical thing I need to tackle sooner than later. Okay, now we've converged upon stability. It only took us like a minute. Just fine. That's something that's a limitation that's strictly related to the edit time stuff. We can turn everything. Not that you can tell that we're rotating it, but yeah, we're still working on it. But yeah, I don't know how much I love my palette. I think it's okay. I think I could fix some things about it. The greens I'm pretty happy with. I think I could improve it. Maybe add a new ramp that like, I don't know how I would do a ramp that ends with like bright red. I don't know how I do that. Or like where I start. Maybe I start in like a kind of purple or something. I don't know. I already have a dark purple, so I don't know. Yeah, I feel kind of limited by this palette. Really only just got 4 ramps plus the grays. I'm kind of tempted to try messing around with someone else's palette. See how I like it. That's kind of how we're closing things down today. Shenanigans with the great idea that we could just desaturate one of these as well is smart. If and we need it. Roller Coaster Tycoon palette. That's fun. Not really a palette at that point, it feels like, but something like this with like 8 or so ramps to it, or 8 or so pieces in the ramp. That's kind of more what I'm interested in. I have 9 in mine because I like to have a mid. I like to have something in the middle, but I don't think that's super necessary. All right, I think we're getting towards the end of the list. I'm going to look through some of these and maybe we'll bookmark some and try them out. It'd be cool to just work on some more conceptual stuff, kind of like this piece. It would be nice to maybe prototype out some little art pieces. Like maybe we do one that's like the engine room, or do another one that's like maybe like the observation room, like the conference room from like the Next Generation or something, or like 10 Forward. Just tried drafting up some different scenes. with some different color sets and just see kind of what we like. Because I just haven't done enough. I've been so bogged down in programming for so long. We've basically ignored the art. And I want to get back to it. Yeah, it looks like the whole color wheel. I know, it gets out of control, doesn't it? Ooh, the cosmos. That's cute. I like this one. I like these very characterful ones, but there's like too much happening in each jump. I think that's not going to work for us because we're specifically going to be like needing to shade in shadows. That's going to be like something we're doing. How are we not out of these things? How are we not out of entries yet? One's cool, subtle. All right, I think we have enough to look at. We're getting into like the weeds as far as like ones that have very little, that no one has even seen before. Start looking through some of these, make a short list. Was that room some concept art we did? Yeah, that's like our one piece of complete concept art. This is kind of a bridge, but I want to do some additional scenes. This uses my palette, so it's like okay, like an okay palette. We're actually using, I think, a lot of the desaturated colors now that I look. Like this is the desaturated color. It might also be the post-processing. We ran this through a post-processor. A more honest appraisal would be opening up this version. I said this version. This is like the actual piece. Yeah, we used low saturation everywhere here, I'm actually realizing. Like the consoles, these are the low sat versions of the consoles. I think the screens are high saturation. Floor definitely is. I think the blues, these might be the low saturation version of some of the blues. I don't know, I definitely mixed and matched. And I do like that about my palette. You can choose similar colors and saturate them to different amounts, but the post-processing bloom. Yeah, I can't wait to mess around with Godot and see what kind of stuff we can get going on. Oh, hey, Najul. Najul. Welcome to YouTube. What are you doing over there? Not that there's anything wrong with being on YouTube. It's a better viewing experience, technically. I like this one. I think this one's maybe a little like too cartoonish. But I like this one. I want one that has like a lot of gray, a lot of options for a lot of similarly kind of almost gray kind of stuff. Which is why I like Apollo, honestly. Apollo has this great gray ramp. Got this subtle, almost bluish. Got this cool hint to it. Yeah, I like Apollo. It's pretty low saturation. Like it feels like when you look at these pieces, it feels pretty saturated, but like I think in reality, it's actually pretty like decent. Yeah. Yeah, it looks versatile. That's a good way of putting it. You got lost. Yeah, I think Apollo is great. I think we're going to have a hard time just using a 64 color palette for what we're trying to do, but if I had to pick a 64 color palette, oh, this isn't even 64, this is 46. Yeah, this is maybe too limited of a palette for us, but I really like it. And Desga, this is like maybe too bright, straight up too bright. AAP 64, I like this one. I've used this one in A-Sprite. I think this one is good. It has a lot of flexibility. It's harder to like, it doesn't have the nice thing that I like of like, you can step up and down. You can shade without really losing the character of the colors. I mean, there's a few ramps here where you can do that for. But I want something that's really like, this one's kind of wild. I like this. This is the kind of thing I could work with. There's just so much. They're just so long, these ramps. There's no light reds, which is a little weird. Seems like because of the way people ramp, most of the reds are like deep and dark. I guess that's just kind of how color ramping works. But yeah, look at all these options. And there's so many similarly gray tones. This is a good one. Dual. Yeah, a large palette. I think there's an advantage to having a large palette like this. Like maybe it's too large. Like here's a bluish green. Here's a yellowish green. But like, I think that's nice. I think that's nice. Bit of flexibility. Like here's a bluish purple. Here's an orangish purple, whatever that means. I think that kind of flexibility is more the direction I'm leaning towards pursuing. Because they're long ramps. I love an 8-color or longer ramp. They're not super saturated, or at least there's more desaturated options. And like Diginanigans said, we could desaturate it ourselves. So this is going on the short list. Dual. Short list of palettes to try. Aurora. This one's interesting. This one has a lot more like wild colors, like just like blood red. This one feels like it has less of like a clear ramping in a lot of cases. It's definitely got some ramps, but it also feels like it's kind of just wild. Like how many magentas can I have? The answer is a lot. Low spec 2000. This one seems fun, but kind of like incoherent. It's made by like a bunch of different people. But it looks really cool. It actually would probably be pretty fun to use. Your Sonic Roboblast 2. This is wild. Wild stuff here. These are immensely long ramps. Look how long these ramps are. This is crazy. It actually is kind of good. It's like too saturated, but it's kind of good. Kind of what I would end up doing. Yeah, in blacks and browns. Yeah, look at all these choices. It's got some desaturated stuff too. It does. I feel like this one's overwhelming, but it's pretty cool. Like I feel spoiled for choice here, but pretty cool because no matter what I choose, I could step up and down like 7 or 8 steps in a lot of cases. Yeah, this one's really cool. Hot highlights, cold shadows. This is also cool. This one's more like reserved. It's not just like trying every single thing. Kind of cool. Here's another fairly maximalist take. I would say this one's actually really like it's vibrant, but it's like you don't have, FF0000 on here. Am I leaning towards a number of colors yet? Not really. I'm more looking at like the characteristic of the palette. Like I want a nice long ramp so that I can do the shading. Because most of the lighting I feel like in this game is going to be a lot of hand lit stuff. Like, I don't know the extent to which we're going to be doing normal mapping and like actual lighting. It's going to be kind of tough to do in 2D. So I don't have exactly a number in mind. This one's pretty good. Kind of like this one. Got a lot of kind of gray options. Like a lot of... I like this one because even its like brightest versions of things is still like somewhat muted. Like its brightest red is like, it's red, but it's not, like I said, like it's not full FF red. 77 color version of this. That's cool. This one's fun. Okay, I think I have 3. I think I have 3 front runners that are all like pretty insane that I want to try. Not this one. This one's just wild. I think I like Duel. I think I like Sonic Robo Blast. I think I like Zenit 241. I think I like these huge palettes. Kind of want to try one of these for a little bit. You're a sucker for coral, reds, and pinks. Nice, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some good options. I think I'm more interested in one of these too. Sonic Roboblast is just like so in your face. Great for Sonic. I think it's just a little too in your face for me. I think one of these two could be fun. There one I'm forgetting over here. No, there's a bunch of limited colors palettes, but I think the rest of these are too small. I think I need to just... There's too many different things that I might need to... There's too much variety in what I want to draw to pick such a limited palette. But yeah, I think one of these two. This one's maybe like a little too pastel or something like that. I don't know. Like it feels cool. Like it feels like it looks like a great palette with really, really gradual ramps that are really nice. And some really great choices where you're like, I want to start from a teal, but like, oh, which teal do I want to start from? Like, there's some options. You're like, do you want a purpley teal? Do you want like a greenish teal? Which I know teal is like fundamentally that, but like, I feel like there's that degree of subtlety here where you can really just pick whatever you want. This one seems good. This one seems like maybe a nice blend between these two. Like it's not so in your face as the Sonic one, but it's also not quite as like, I don't know what the right word for this is. Which is again why I'm picking a palette, because I don't know anything about colors. The lack of like a super rich red is like bothering me a little bit. Whereas like this is like the reds are too rich. Like I don't know. This one's good. This one's got DSAT and high sat. Like it's got a nice mix of things. But I think this is probably, this one maybe doesn't ramp as cleanly. And if it does, I don't think it's been laid out very, very well. So if it like does ramp very well, let me go. Let's go back here. Let's go to palettes and let's look this one up. I feel like when I saw this on the page, it like had a very clear ramp to it. All right. All right, low spec. Thank you. Zenit. 241. Oh, there's a Zenit 184. Oh, no, no. I didn't want to go to the page. I wanted to see it on the list. Whatever. We're just going to look for min 128. Find it here. I feel like it presented itself a little differently on the main page. Like, this is a ramp. But, like, and I guess this is a ramp. Maybe it's just, maybe this is laid out in ramp form and it's just a little hard to read because of the way it's overlapping. This one definitely has more of a difference. It's less gradual, that's for sure. There's like more of a jump between each color in the ramp, which is wild because these ramps seem like they're incredibly long. It's not as gradual and even as like this one, as like the dual. These jumps in this dual ramp are just like so consistent. Kind of wild. I don't know. This one could be really good. Hey, full box, how's it going? Yeah, we were doing what we said we were going to do yesterday. We're kind of palette shopping a little bit. We've narrowed it down to a few that I like. Oh yeah, I wish I could see. I wish it would show this when you were on the actual page. So like here, it won't show that linear. This feels very linear. So like this is dual, which we like. Look at how gradual those ramps are. Look at how many options there are here. This you don't get the sense of this when you actually look at it on this page. It's like harder to understand what you're looking at. It's really nice to see it in this view on the browse page. I tell Fullbox you say hi. Oh, all right. Fullbox, no, Jewel says hi. They got lost on YouTube. That's why they're not here on Twitch. Okay, and then here's Zenit. So these are like the two top contenders for me right now. Is there anything else in here that I like missed? The web safe one is like making me dizzy, like looking at it. Oh, here's the 184 version of Zenit. This looks pretty good. Now we got full box on the YouTube. All right, I see the difference between these two. Now that we're looking at it here, let's zoom in. No. So this one is like really deeply linear. This one has ramps that are like they're ramping into lights and darks and then ramping out into like another direction. Like there's more crossover points, it feels like, where you can ramp up from this and then down somewhere else. Like, maybe that's not true. But there's definitely more. I feel like the jumps between each of these colors in the Zenit one is more interesting. There's more hue shifting going on between each jump. Whereas the dual one is just really straightforward and linear. And like, I'm kind of tempted to go with that. because of how I'm like going to be lighting the game. Like if I'm hand lighting and shading things often, I think having this is like pretty cool and pretty good. But I think I kind of just like this one better, maybe. I think I kind of just like Zenit a little better. I don't know. I should probably just download both of them and try them. Sorry, Sonic Robo Blast. Where even is that on here? Sonic Robo. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, these are. Look how long these are. These are so long. These are maybe too long. Wild. All right. Yeah, I can't choose between these two right now. I'm going to just grab both. Dual and Zenit 241. I mean, Dual has more colors. I kind of like Dual's gray better. Oh, no, there's another gray down here. Zenit has a lot of options for gray. What about Dual? Dual has 1, 2, maybe 3, arguably 3 or 4. Zenit has 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's got a gray for almost every like kind of color variant you could want. This is giving me double vision the way this has been laid out here, though, the Zenit one. You have more viewers on the YouTube side, huh? Yes, I do, Fullbox. It's it's kind of perplexing. It kind of flies in the face of all the common wisdom on how live streaming Twitch works. But yeah. Then at 241 is doing more tonal steps of shorter hue gaps. Thank you, Smooth in a Second, the person who actually knows things about color. Yeah, I don't know anything about color, Fullbox. Dual has finer tonal control, and Zenith has more hue control. I see, I see. Okay. All right, Smooth in a Second. What is going to be better for a vibrant sci-fi game in like a style of Star Trek or like Babylon 5 or things like that? We're not going for like Battlestar Galactica. We're not going for like muted grays and stuff. I'm tempted to try Zenit. I think Zenit is kind of exciting. The mechanical part of my mind thinks Dual is really cool. Another way of saying it is Dual has better brightness, tone control, and Zenith has more hue colors. I see. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. So like stepping up and down in Dual is like more consistent. And Zenith has more colors. Neither seem to have saturation ramps. Yeah, that is a bit of a problem. You mean they kind of do with the tone? Okay. These seem really similar, but also very different. But also, I should just pick one because I need to get back to work soon. Like I don't see, like I'm comparing the two, and I it's not like I see a ton of things where I'm like, oh, I would struggle to express this in the other one. It looks like there's like options for expressing basically any of these. I think maybe I like the orangey, like there's certain aspects of these ramps that I like better in one versus the other. I in my mind, I like Dual better for like shading things. Like for controlling the lighting of something, I think Dual will be more straightforward. But I just find Zenit kind of exciting. I don't know. It's kind of tough. Like their brights lose some saturation as they do the shadows. Yeah, I see what you mean. No, Jewel wants to ask me what I get on Ko-Fi so far. You're planning to register a business and start giving people the option to help you on your projects before releasing your first game soon. Your first free game soon. I have made $0 on Ko-Fi. So I like how my Ko-Fi link is covering up their Ko-Fi link. Kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know, like Ko-Fi versus Patreon or whatever. I think you have to have a pretty big community either way before you start to see anything there. All right, I'm downloading both these. I can't decide right now. We're gonna try both of them. Wait, what do I even want? How is a 1x PNG image gonna do? What is that even gonna do? I'm curious about what this is. Oh, it's just this. Okay, versus if I get it like this, is it just taller? Is it just easier to see? Interesting. I mean, I guess A-Sprite doesn't care. A-Sprite would be fine with a 1x, huh? Photoshop.ace. What? What? Huh? That's an A-Sprite file. What is that? Why does that say Photoshop? I want a .ace file. That's for A-Sprite. Within a second, do you think Zenit has some brighter, more vibrant options for space things? Stars, lasers, engines, colors? Yeah, I think there's maybe some more variety and some more interesting things. But I think I'll have less control. I don't know, maybe it'll be cool doing some of the ramping for the lighting, because it'll give it more of a hue shift, and it will maybe make things more vibrant, or not vibrant, but maybe make them look a little stranger and interesting. I don't know. I'm gonna look at both of them. These are our top 2 contenders. Maybe we get to do some art next week. Maybe we're gonna just draw some stuff. I don't know. Oh, it's a brave new world. You'll have a style that's a little forced. Yeah, by the Zenit one, because it's like kind of giving me less of these linear straight ramps. Yeah, that might be good. That might be good. Honestly, I might do the lazy thing. And the first thing we try is maybe we try recoloring this piece with each of the other palettes. Maybe we just do it. Maybe we do that. Maybe we recolor this with the other 2 palettes, and then we kind of decide what we like, and then maybe we start working on some other stuff. That could be fun. That could be a fun thing to do. Diginanigans. ACE stands for Adobe Swatch Exchange, but it's a standard that's used in a lot of different programs. Oh. I just presumed it was an A-Sprite file. What happens when I try to open an A-Sprite? My computer thinks it's an A-Sprite file. Let's see if A-Sprite thinks it's an A-Sprite file. It seems like A-Sprite is not happy with this. Error reading header, error loading sprite. Okay, these are not A-Sprite files. Thank you for clarifying that, Diginanigans. I need to... Oh god, I already closed it. I need to go back and download that. Okay, Zenit. Low spec. Dual. I'm just going to download the 1x. That should be sufficient. There might be a way to do that. Change color options with gradient maps. Okay. Yeah, I mean, what I'm going to do is probably just like color replace on the original A-sprite file. But this is also maybe indexed. Actually, this maybe isn't indexed. All my new pieces are indexed, so I can swap out around the palettes and like it'll just recolor itself, but I don't think I did that here. I think I just painted it, but that's fine. We can just color replace across and just try some different stuff out. I'm excited. I'm excited to try some different stuff out with color. But it's like 2 o'clock for me. I need to get back. No Jewel. You plan to at least give people the option if they like your free game. The business is necessary long term anyway. Yeah, for sure. Curious. You should probably not expect anything in the near future on Ko-Fi. Yes, that would be my that is my experience. But again, I don't push it. I don't encourage it. I also don't really offer anything in exchange. But that's because I have this day job. So I don't really feel comfortable like pressuring people to donate money to me when I don't need it, really. Maybe someday in the future. But I'm going to get the music playing, I say confidently. Cue this up. Get my outro going. Within a second, we're going to talk about color more later. But I'm going out of the town this weekend, so maybe not immediately. So yeah, no stream tomorrow. But I'll be back Tuesday. We'll see what I do while I'm gone. Probably nothing. Probably work on a few things. But yeah. I appreciate everyone hanging out. This felt like it was going to be a really slow day. And then everyone came in. And we had a good time. And we got some stuff done. It was all good. You're heading out now too, Digitanigans. Take care. Catch me next week. Yeah, thanks. Have a great weekend. I hope everyone here has a great weekend. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.